welcome to the Coach's Call. I am your host, Guido Prino, and I want to talk about wrestling, WWE, the Royal Rumble. Look, I know you guys, some of you guys are purists. You want to hear about hockey, football, and there's a lot of that going on. And I don't know that I've ever really covered wrestling, just a wrestling episode. So I'm going to do that on the heels of WWE's Royal Rumble. And look, I tried to approach watching the Royal Rumble as a fan, not as an analyst. Because when I watch it as an analyst, I want to change things. I want to change the story. I want to tell you about what was right and what was wrong. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to cover that off here. But I wanted to just enjoy wrestling. I wanted to enjoy wrestling from the perspective of how I used to enjoy wrestling as a kid, as a child, not knowing about, not hearing about the dirt sheets, the predictions, what might happen, who might show up, who might not show up, all the rumors, why something is being decided because of some politics, etc. And so, look, that's what I did. I just watched the show and I enjoyed whatever was presented for entertainment value alone. And and I had fun. I had fun watching the show. Now, is there the little analyst in me that wants to, pick at things and why something works and why doesn't it work? Sure, because that's just what we evolved into, knowing what we know about the business and what we love about sports entertainment if you are a fan of sports entertainment. So, if you haven't in a while tried just watching the show as a fan and just enjoying the content, give it a shot. And you might find that you're surprised by your own maybe renewed enjoyment of it. Okay, so I did that, and when I did that, and I look and I say, did I like everything as a fan if from that perspective? I did. It was a great show. Loved the outcome of probably every single match. Loved a whole bunch of things that happened in those matches. It was fun. It was fun to watch it that way. And I'm gonna seep a little bit of that into as I get into the analysis of this. The analyst portion of me takes over. Things that didn't make sense, things that I would have liked to have seen something different happen, things that worked. Okay. From a didn't make sense perspective, and if you follow WWE and if you follow wrestling, I didn't quite understand Damian Priest being in the Royal Rumble. He's a money in the bank winner. He can cash in the briefcase at any time. He can go after whatever title he wants. I didn't understand the narrative of having him in the Rumble. His presence didn't really create any new storylines. I didn't think so anyways. Um, and so I thought his spot could have been given to somebody else, or something could have happened with the briefcase or whatnot. The other thing that didn't make sense to me was Pat McAfee in the Royal Rumble. I mean, I guess I didn't really like Pat McAfee even coming out as an announcer. Just not a big Pat McAfee fan. He has a decent show now and then. It's just, it's a little controversial, if you will, maybe on purpose, who knows. I just never have been a fan of his as an announcer and integrated into the wrestling. But then to have him actually enter the Rumble, to waste a spot, whereas you could have showcased a talent or brought somebody in. Did it provide a humorous spot? Maybe. Was there some, linkage back to Michael Cole having been in the Rumble? Sure. I just thought it was an unnecessary weak part of the show, and it didn't make sense to me to have Pat McAfee as part of the show. Another thing that didn't make sense, Ricochet drawing in at number 28. Um, Look, if he wasn't going to be part of the final moments, I don't know why you just don't make Ricochet part of the earlier moments of the earlier event and have him do some of his spots and things. I just thought again, his high flying, his expertise, I didn't find that it was a worthwhile part for him to be in that late. I didn't think it advanced him in any way either. The other thing that didn't make sense to me, Valhalla's fast exit. I think she lasted 5 seconds, tying a previous record. Um, she's this interesting character. She's got the antlers. She comes in. You're thinking something else is gonna happen, and then wham, she kind of fast exit. And I thought, oh, there was an opportunity to advance her career a little bit. The other things that didn't make sense to me were less about the Royal Rumble itself and more of the event. One of the other matches, the Fatal Four Way. Boy, what a downer of a match. I look, it didn't advance the storyline in any kind of way, I thought. I don't think it helped any one wrestler. I Solo's interference was for the sake of Solo's interference because he said for the last few weeks that he was going to take care of things. Um, but I don't know that did it advance the fight between Solo and any of the other wrestlers? I don't think it did. To me, the Fatal Four Way felt like it was just part of the show. They needed to get Roman Reigns out there because he hadn't been around since November. Um, I mean, look at Randy Orton and LA Knight and AJ Styles in their own right, great wrestlers. They had some great spots in terms of performing, and I wouldn't expect any less. I just felt that it just didn't advance anybody's opportunities after that. Didn't make anybody better, didn't make anybody worse, just didn't make anybody better. Felt like it was a throw-in match, um, you know, to show that Roman Reigns defended his title for the first time in 3 months and now may not defend it again for another, I don't know, 3 months. So till WrestleMania. All right, look, that's enough of the things that didn't make sense. Things where I would have liked to have seen something different happen. So Jay and Jimmy Uso draw number one and number two in the Men's Royal Rumble. Um, but that storyline didn't really play out for me. There was the initial pop, there was some, fun interaction between them, and then I just felt that it fell a little bit flat. Um, you know, I thought, why not have Jimmy around for when Sami Zayn shows up and do a spot, like finish telling, parts of that story or spark it up a little bit, if you will, too. I just thought, and if they're thinking about the Usos fighting at WrestleMania one-on-one, I don't know. I'm gonna need some more buildup. I'm gonna need some more things happening between the two. Yeet, no yeet. Right now, no yeet. It just didn't do it for me. I would have liked to seen something different happen there. I didn't think they advanced Jay in any way in this Royal Rumble main event. Jay Uso. I don't know. I thought maybe he would have some better spot, either helping Cody out at the end or something to do with Cody because Cody brought him in, and they've been trying to change the way people look at Jay. I just didn't see a lot going on with Jay. And then R-Truth. Sometimes less is more. And I love an R-Truth and the comedy spots he's given us with Judgment Day. But his whole shtick on getting things not quite right, maybe it's going a little too far and sometimes it's not as funny. And I really love R-Truth. I thought he's a great character and he does make me laugh. I just thought maybe the running in the women's Royal Rumble part of it didn't quite make sense. I'm nitpicking there. I'm just hoping they don't try to overdo it with R-Truth. Okay, things that worked. Um, Now part of this almost made it into things that didn't quite work. And Naomi came back. And she came back and her and Natalya were number one and number two to start the women's Royal Rumble. And it makes total sense now. Naomi looked rusty in those early spots. She looked like she was missing some moves or telegraphing some moves or it just wasn't working for her in the beginning. And I'll admit, I didn't keep an eye on her through the whole match. It's nice to see her back, but I get why they started Natalya with her. If Naomi was rusty, Natalya maybe was helping her bring her along, calming her nerves from having not been there for a while. She just looked a little out of place at the beginning. Nice to see her. Will be interesting to see where they end up with her. But Natalya made that work for Naomi with bringing her back. The other thing that I thought was that worked that was fun was the Chelsea Green spots. Chelsea Green was awesome. Like she was just getting beat up, in these comical kind of spots, like unfathomable that she would get, pinned in the corner like four times, four different ways. Wrestlers, falling on her, and I just thought it was awesome. It was again, this goes back to that spot where I say things that I would have enjoyed if I just watched the match as fun. That was a fun part of it, and Chelsea Green did a great job with her spots. It was also nice to see Jordan Gracie, TNA Knockouts champion, come in and be part of the WWE. Unexpected. It was a bit of a surprise to me, anyways. I was trying not to follow things in that way, like I said. So I thought she did great in the match. I was thinking she might have gone a little further, but it worked. It was really nice and it worked. Jade Cargill. Uh, so I wasn't I was thinking, oh, I don't know if Jade's gonna work here. But man, did she ever have a presence. And when she came face to face with Bianca, that created a moment. She had some other spots in there. Um, it's going to be fun to watch where they bring Jade Cargill and what they do with her. But yeah, I could see her having a long career in the WWE and doing some good things. And it worked. It worked in the Rumble match. Overall, the women's match for me highlighted a lot of talent that we don't always get to see. And so I really liked it. I really liked seeing all the different women wrestlers come out, have their spot, do some different things. Just it was really enjoyable. So that was a big thumbs up for me. Now, here's another one that worked. I thought Kevin Owens and Logan Paul, that finish worked. I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul. I think that, I'm not convinced yet. He has some wrestling moves. I'm not a hater. I'm just not convinced on what Logan Paul should be in the WWE or in the wrestling world. He's got all these other side things that he's got going on, but Kevin Owens is a great worker. He worked an excellent match. Loved the finish. I thought they both did a great job with that finish. And so that worked for me. It'll be interesting to see, when we see Logan Paul next, or if he becomes a regular wrestler or not. I know there was some, he did a show, I think, with John Cena, and there was some weird stuff there, I think. But again, I don't follow him closely outside of the wrestling, but I thought that the finish with him and Kevin Owens was awesome. The other thing that worked for me was the Cody Rhodes win. Yes, I wanted to see Cody Rhodes win. I also wanted to see Rhodes win last year against Roman Reigns and the whole idea of finishing the story. Um, you know, I wonder if CM Punk fans feel the way a little bit the way Cody Rhodes fans might have felt last year when Cody lost at Mania, although this isn't Mania. So the win worked. It was the right way to finish it. I thought he and Punk put on a good final few moments, good build up to it. And maybe there might be some future build up there that, if Rhodes ends up winning, we're gonna see another Punk Rhodes match or maybe a few more matches, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes. The other thing that worked for me was Bayley. That was a great win. Seeing her win the women's Royal Rumble was awesome. I'm looking forward to see where that's going. What I haven't talked about here is, some possible predictions, and I'm going to hold off on those. I'm going to talk about the predictions over at the exclusive episode of the Coach's Call over at the monthlysocial.com for this upcoming month. And so if you tune in there, I'm going to talk more about where I think some of these things are going to go in possible predictions. So look, overall, great show. The Royal Rumble had fun. Looking forward to seeing the setup to Mania for all of these things. And watch it as a fan, not always as an analyst. And that's the Coach's Call on WWE Royal Rumble 2024. Take care, everybody.